Gloria, many people I know have seen that video and posted their reactions on social media, that they were sickened, they were so disturbed. Some people have said that they can't even watch it. What was your reaction to seeing that video of Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura?
Well, I certainly feel for Cassie Ventura. And it's interesting because I'm not surprised by that and by his misconduct. By the way, after numerous denials recently, Sean Combs today admitted what, of course, he had to admit, or at least couldn't continue to deny, that is what he did to Cassie on the video. So, and then, of course, he says he's sorry and he got help and all of that. But really, this is horrible, abusive, revolting conduct. And of course, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, because it did occur in LA County at the now closed Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, they said they could not prosecute him now because this conduct occurred in 2016. In other words, it's too late now. It's not within the period of time called the statute of limitations to file a criminal charge against him in terms of a state violation. Having said that, it would not at all surprise me if the Justice Department of Justice, and the federal prosecutors are taking a look at this video. And obviously they are investigating. We all know they did recently 2 searches of his homes, both in Florida and in California, and recovered, per the search warrant, numerous electronic devices like phones, laptops, desktops, whatever he had that was electronic, and perhaps other items as well. Generally, the federal government doesn't do that unless they feel there's substantial evidence, probable cause, that they had to prove to a magistrate to get those search warrants. And they don't generally do it unless at some point later they do seek an indictment against him and then file charges.
Okay, so it's still possible. It's not the end of this saga yet, even though
not at all.
For now, it doesn't.
Not at all.
It doesn't look like there's an immediate lawsuit, but as you said, it may not be the end of this saga yet. I know that.
Well, Cassie did file a lawsuit against him, and that got a lot of public attention. And the next day, she settled it.
This is what I wanted to ask you about. Talk to me a little bit about that. The role that settlement, which I believe was in November last year, November 2023, what
Correct.
role would that settlement have played into why law enforcement won't pursue a case for now?
None. A person can file a civil lawsuit seeking damages. And by the way, I represent a number of alleged victims of Sean Combs, although we have not yet filed a lawsuit for any of them. But in it, there is no impact on a criminal case. The fact that an individual has sought compensation for the damages she alleges she suffered in the same incident. By the way, those who, the investigators, those who searched the homes of Mr. Combs, that's Homeland Security. And Homeland Security generally is involved in sex trafficking investigations. And this very well could turn out to be a case. Of course, we have to see if the evidence would support it. Very similar to singer R. Kelly's case, where he ended up being charged with sex trafficking, violations of RICO, which is a very serious federal crime, Racketeering, Influence, Corrupt Organizations Act, which has a longer statute of limitations than any state charge he might have faced. All things are possible based on whatever evidence they have, and if prosecutors feel that they could prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt, and possible Mann Act violations, which were also present in the R. Kelly case. In other words, taking a woman, especially an underage woman, but any woman, across state lines for the purpose of commercial sex. So we'll have to see what comes out of it. It's based on the evidence. No charges have been filed yet. He's presumed innocent unless and until he is proven guilty in a court of law. But this is not over until it's over. It's not over yet.
I want to ask you one final question, and that is, people, of course, know you. You have represented women who have had allegations of sexual assault against some very famous and powerful men, notably Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby. Sean Diddy Combs is another such person, an icon in the music world, in the hip-hop and pop world. Do you think that things have changed from those previous lawsuits you were a part of? Or do you think if he was a regular civilian, things would have been different?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, he has a big business enterprise. He is very public. There have been numerous allegations against him. There are 5 civil lawsuits against him right now, and there may be more filed in the future. So it's, I can't speculate as to what would have happened if he were not a public figure. But I'm glad there's a serious investigation taking place, and we'll have to wait and see what the outcome of it is. But I just wanted to say the fact that no state charges are filed on account of that video doesn't mean that the federal investigators are not interested in it. I'm sure they're very interested in it, and in fact, may have known about it, may even have had possession of it prior to its becoming public. We don't know.